Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Sunday, the 16th of March 2025. In today's Millwall news, we have one of these transfer rumours, which is a bit early, shall I say, but it's for next season, so we'll see about that. So it's from this site called Tottenham News, but the address is tottenhamhotspurnews.com. No idea what that's about. So, it's an exclusive. Speaking to John Wenham. Who's that? No idea. Is he someone famous at Tottenham? Mikey Moore to want Millwall transfers. Tottenham exit claim emerges. So Mikey Moore could push for a move to Championship side Millwall as doubts emerge over his immediate Tottenham future. Moore has established himself as a consistent part of the first team squad this season, making 16 appearances in all competitions for Ange Postecoglou's side. However, as players have begun to return from injury in recent weeks, the 17-year-old has struggled for minutes, with some fans even urging Moore to quit Tottenham after a recent development. And while Spurs aren't expected to be any rush to decide on a summer move for Moore, it appears as though the teenager could already have Millwall as a potential destination in mind. Moore recently sent a message to Postecoglou reminding him of his quality and the fact that the Australian has perhaps been wrong to leave the winger out so often in recent weeks. The young Spurs gem will have more opportunities to remind Postecoglou what he can do in the coming weeks after an official England announcement. Okay, and then they just link to other things. They don't, like, you could just tell us. However, if he continues to remain on the bench in North London, a loan move could be on the cards this summer. And Lily White Rose owner John Wenham said, "What's Lily White Rose? Is that a fanzine? What is that? Is that another Spurs website? I don't know what that is." Speaking exclusively to Tottenham News, has suggested that the player would likely be keen to temporarily join Millwall. "I think Tottenham would look at the situation in pre-season," Wenham said. "We know that Timo Werner will be leaving the club and it isn't yet decided what will happen with Matis Tel. Therefore the club will have to decide what the course of action is. However, if Moore were to go out on loan next season, it would need to be a move to the Championship where he would be a starter. And he's got the physical aspect of the game already, and if he were to choose where to go, I think he'd want Millwall. That's his boyhood club, so I'm sure it would be an amazing move for all parties." Spurs will be going all out to win the UEFA Europa League this season, with very little left to play for in the Premier League. As a result, Postecoglou expected to make 8 changes against Fulham at Craven Cottage in the Premier League today, Sunday, and I don't know if they did, but they lost. And Moore should be one of the players who gets onto the pitch in West London. Okay, so he seems to be in and around the first team squad, but not, when obviously they had a lot of injuries, so they needed players to come in, and he came in. I'm just pulling the lineup on my phone, and it looks like he didn't play. He didn't play at all. He wasn't even named on the bench, as far as I can tell. Yeah, he wasn't involved, so there you go. So even though they did rotate the squad, he wasn't involved. So, if he does go out on loan, so 17, and if you didn't know, like, he is a massive Millwall fan. His family are all Millwall, but obviously he seems to be a very good footballer, so he's decided, go to the Premier League, get the Premier League money, which, is what it is, but, he would love to play for Millwall, I'm sure. And if he's that good, that he's playing for Tottenham's first team at 17 years old, let's bring him on. Although, I don't know where I think he's like a winger, so then you look at it and you think, well, you know, we've got a lot of wingers at the moment. Obviously they get injured all the time though. But imagine if we let Watmore go and we bring him in on loan, that might be a thing. But they, again with the deal, how much is he gonna? He might want to come to Millwall, but if the deal that Tottenham offer to Millwall is like a bit, a lot of money, I could doubt that Millwall wouldn't just write a blank check. It'd have to be a good deal for Millwall financially. So there you go. But yeah, that could be a thing that happens next season. Wouldn't that be fun? Who have we haven't really been really big on the loans, have we? Since I think Gary Rowett left. We generally have like one or two, whereas before we had like 5, which I think is the maximum. So yeah, that kind of maybe that went out the window with the new way we're trying to finance the club. Is that why are you paying all this money and wages and stuff to develop other teams' players? Spend some of that money buying a player from abroad or somewhere lower down, bring them in, and you've got a permanent player, and he's your player, and there you go. So obviously during this international break there isn't going to be any Mill first team games, but there are set to be 3 under-21 games, and 2 of them are set to be at the moment in stadiums, so you can go in person to attend. And the first team, obviously, their season is kind of over. It's not mathematically done yet, but it's incredible. It's a Sisyphean task to climb up that hill, in terms of you needing to win basically all the remaining games when teams are struggling to win 2 in a row in this league. But for the under-21s, they do have something to play for. They're trying to win the national championship. They're trying to get second place in the Southern Division. First place seems to be out of reach, but second place is very much on. And it's between us and Charlton for that second place. And to get that, if you got that, then you're in the semi-finals for the national competition. So they still have something to play for. So if you can, go and support them, especially during this international break. Although the games aren't on Saturday, they're midweek. So Tuesday the 18th, 7 p.m. kickoff, away at Ipswich Town, Portman Road. Ideal opportunity if you've got young kids and you want to take them to an away game. This is an away game of sorts. They won't really know if they're 6 or under. They won't really get it. But here you go. Then there's a game at the training ground. But Tuesday the 25th. This could change because it is about 15 days away. But this could change. Colchester United away at Wallace Binder, which is the ground of Malden and Tiptree, which is in Malden. So, 7 p.m. So again, 7 p.m. kickoff, and you can go to this game as well and support the under-21s if you can. 2 games in the east of England: Colchester, or Malden, and Ipswich. So there you go. That's a little taste of what's coming up over the next couple of weeks while there's no first team action. Also, as well as, obviously, we've got the international players, and that you can watch their games in a way. These are all the international games that are on various television channels. This is from live-footballontv.com. Obviously, we've got Greece versus Scotland. That's a playoff, and Kevin Nisbet has been called up for that. It's technically a Millwall player. Will he be coming back? Even if he's not coming back, you want him to do well, because then some club will want to pay some money for him, and we can get some of that money that we spent on him back. Obviously, you got England, Albania. I wonder how many Albanians be at that. Will there be more Albanians in England than that? I don't know. You got Northern Ireland games. That's on BBC. That's a friendly. Obviously, George Savile involved in that. What else have we got? We've got obviously the TBC. So the TBC before. I'm not sure about this because this is World Cup qualifier. Whereas the ones before were, I think they were UEFA games. So last time that happened, they were short notice put on YouTube on Viaplay. So I don't know if that's going to happen again. What else have we got? Obviously, and then we go back to Scotland, Greece, second leg. There is obviously the under-21 games haven't come up there. Basically, so the Serbian under-21s are going to a training camp in Turkey, and the Scottish under-21s are going to a training camp in Spain, the training camp that Millwall went to. So those games may be broadcast. They might be on YouTube. Obviously for Danny Kelly and Ivanovic. If they are, if I find out they're being shown live on YouTube, I'll share it out on the YouTube community posts. And I'll try and let you know if I find out in advance in the video, if I can. So, we can all watch it. Because why not? Why not? So there you go. Now, that's it for the news. We're going to move on to the stats now from the game. The game that apparently Stoke City were actually the better team according to their manager. Well, that's not happening. Looking at these stats, so this is from WhoScored.com. Millwall stole the ball from the opposition often, were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces. We had no significant weaknesses. We had a large quantity of possession in our opponent's half, and we attacked down the left-hand side, and we favoured crossing the ball. Stoke had no strengths. They were poor at finishing, they were aggressive, and they gave away a lot of free kicks around the box. And as you can see, if you look on the right-hand side of the top performers, ratings-wise, it's all Millwall players, top 5. Joe Bryan giving standout by a whole point. Tanganga's back. Tanganga's back to 7.3. He had a couple of games where he's in the 6s. Joe Bryan, though, 8.4. And then in second place, Tanganga with 7.3. That is a massive, massive, massive gap between Joe Bryan and Tanganga. And then look, the amount of shots that the players had. It's 4 Millwall players and 1 of theirs. Tackles. Heath Bangor Williams, 5 tackles. Billy Mitchell with 3. And then, Wilmot and Kumas. And dribbles. 4 of them. And they're all Millwall players. So if we go back to the middle, the attempts on goal, 11-5, 4-3 open play, 6-2 set piece, 0-0 counter attack, 1-0 penalty. So our 1 goal from 11 shots is a 9% conversion rate, which is standard fare for this level of football. They had 5 shots, they had 0 goals. And as you can see, we were, even though it says we were going down, this says up here we were going down the left-hand side. Well, according to this, we were mostly going down the right side. It's slightly more, 41% to 39%. Basically going down both wings. They were nearly half down their left-hand side. Shot directions. Shot zones. So 82% in the 18-yard box. Obviously, not a lot of shots in this game. Action zones. Player positions. Wow. What the hell is that? What is that by Millwall? What is that? That is... that's weird. That is weird. But I told you, didn't I tell you that? So it's kind of weird how the high line of Mill's defence, but then you look at the 2 attackers and they're further back, which they didn't feel like that at times. I think obviously this is over the whole 90 minutes. But I think having two up front did allow for our defence to be so high at times. So if you look in the middle, 21 and 26, you can't really see 26, but that's what that is. That's Ivanovic and Coburn. So like I said, they were very close to each other. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense at all. Because you got Crammer. Not Crammer. It was Crammer. Was it Crammer? Yes, no, Crammer started and it was Harding after. 52 is Crammer, yeah. And then you've got 22 and Maku. And Joe Bryan is 15. So Maku was actually even further forward than the two main forwards. But yeah, they were just going away from where the ball was, trying to get on the end of crosses, but they were both doing it. Like, why wouldn't one go towards the person with the ball and one go drop back? And whichever side they're on, it would be a different one each time. So when Crammer goes down, the right-hand side, Ivanovic can go to the back post, and Coburn can come forward, and vice versa on the other side. But they were just literally together, like Ivanovic and Ivanovic's shadow. 8 is Billy Mitchell. See, Billy Mitchell dropping back, almost becoming like a third centre back, so that Denor can do what he does, number 24. So there you go. Interesting stuff. Who's 31? Who's 31? Can we find that out? Let's move on. Bangor Williams, yeah. So Bangor Williams. Okay. Cool. So yeah, moving on to this. So if you look at the top left, top right, let's go back up. So here's the match events. Obviously, Amaku getting the card, Kumas getting the card, and then Halamadi coming off with the injury. He got injured, but he shook it off, managed to go again, but he was the first one off on 63 minutes. And we waited and we waited. And then the changes did get made, and I think they were impactful. I think Aaron Connolly riling up the crowd, getting the crowd going, because the game was a bit dire. There's not a lot going on, and he just gets in the face of the guy. Rather weirdly, I don't know if that was planned, if they told him to do that or what, but it didn't look like there was anything there. And you see the highlights after, or the recording of the match, there's nothing there. So I don't know. What was it? So he squared up to the black guy. Can you still say that? Well, I just did. But it was the white guy. I'll say the white guy who tackled him. So I don't know why he squared up to the black guy. It was very weird. But yeah, he got the crowd going. Yeah, I see. Yeah, this is him here, Junior Chamadou. That was him. But he got booked as well. But he probably should have got booked early, because he was hacking Imaku up all the time. And then obviously Harding comes on. Harding has the throw-in that goes into the area that gets us the penalties. So those changes were advantageous to us. And then they make a couple of changes. We make Condell from Bangor Williams. Kind of a weird one, but it is what it is. And then two of their players get booked, complaining about the situation with the penalty. So lovely stuff. If you look at the top left and top right where the club badges are, you can see the average player rating for each team. It's 6.9 for Millwall, 6.33 for Stoke. So that is a big old difference at this level. 0.6 basically. So what's that there? They given Brian a T. What does T mean? T means a last man tackle. When was that? Oh, was that the one that got deflected and Jensen saved it? Maybe it was that. Yeah, maybe. So yeah, player ratings. Joe Bryan got 8.4. Various other players given 7s, but you can see the ratings are higher than previous. Normally we have a couple of players who are way down, but that's not the case. So everyone's mid 6s and above. The two lowest rated players are 6.8 for Amaku, 6.7 for Williams, BNW, RBW, which is probably fair. Although Amaku, huffing and puffing, doing a lot. Just not really working out for him. Had a bit of a struggle up against Chamadou. But there you go. So, if we look at the total shots, it's 11-5. And these are the players who had those shots. So Cooper with 2, Amaku with 2, Coburn with 1, Ivanovic with 3. Possession-wise, now this is interesting. So this is a game that we won where we had more possession, which is unusual. It's unusual for us. 57% possession. 8.7 with Joe Bryan. Wow, okay. That is a lot. And then Denor and Mitchell as well getting on the ball. Rather than the centre-backs. So normally it would be the two centre-backs that would be on the ball a lot of the time. But now it's Joe Bryan and the two central midfielders. And that is interesting. Pass success percentage 74-64. So again, ours was better than theirs, which is unusual. But again, kind of struggling to see how Stoke are the better team according to their manager. I'm not seeing it yet. We have more shots than them. We have better possession than them. We have pass success percentage better than them. We have more dribbles than them. We have more aerials won than them. The tackles even. We had more corners than them. So in what way were they better than us? Being cheating bastards, probably. So again, Cooper 82, Billy Mitchell 82. So again, where you see before where Billy Mitchell was dropping back, so it's sort of like they were just passing it to Billy Mitchell, and then to the Nor or whatever. So Cooper's passing accuracy is normally a lot lower than that, because he just punts long balls forward. So looks like he wasn't doing that. Although Bangor Williams is on 85, which is interesting because he gave the ball away a couple of times that were quite notable. That looked a bit scary. I don't know if that counts as a misplaced pass or that he just got dispossessed of the ball. Maybe took too long on the ball. Dribbles 5-0. Yep. Amaku given 2 dribbles. Aerials won 26-21. Coburn with 5. Ivanovic with 2. Cooper with 8. So tackles. Again, yet another game where Tanganga did not have a tackle. He just has to stare at the players. He doesn't even need to tackle them anymore. He just kind of shepherds them out. He's that good. He doesn't need to tackle. But yeah, Bangor Williams with 5. Billy Mitchell with 3. Interesting stuff. Obviously, the reason for that, they were going down their left-hand side half the time, and that actually affected Bangor Williams in terms of he had to defend and he had to tackle, and it kind of affected his ability to go forward, which, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. And I thought we did it quite well, to be fair. Corners, 7-5. These are the players who won the corners. It would be nice if we could actually do something with corners. I mean, apparently we've scored 3 times from like 180 corners this season. That is absolutely atrocious. And when you're looking at we're one of the lowest scorers in the league, how can we not be scoring from corners when we've got Tanganga, we've got Cooper, we've got Kramer, we've got Coburn, we've got Ivanovic? Like, what the fuck are we doing? That's where the missing goals are. The corner kicks and the set pieces. Where have they gone? Where have they gone? We need to get them back, I'm sure. If we get the goals back from the corners and the set pieces. I mean, man, that's where the playoff is. That's where the playoffs are. Because then we'll be winning more games. We'll be picking up more points and scoring more goals. I mean, it's, that's the obstruction. Find out how to fucking score from corners. Dispossessed 8-7. Yeah, Bangor Williams twice. Yeah. So there you go. Now let's move on to this, also from whoscored.com. So what was it? We had 11 shots, did we not? How many were on target? 4. Okay, so 11 to 4 to 1. One shot, obviously one shot on target was scored. That was the penalty. So that's a bit poor to have 11 shots and only 4 of them on target, and then to only score 1 goal. You can see why there seemed to be a lack of quality in the game. Ratings wise, Joe Bryan 8.43. So I don't know. Are they talking to him about new contracts? I mean, why not? We're basically safe now. We got to the 50 points. I mean, what the hell has happened to Joe Bryan? We need a study in this. How is he suddenly switched it on all of a sudden? Is it Alex Neil? Is it the prospect of being a 31-year-old and not having, like I mentioned before, if he's out of contract in the summer, other clubs can start talking to him and he can start talking to them. So if he's phoning up other clubs up and no one's interested, and then his agent tells him that, it's like, fucking hell, I've got to do something. I can't be unemployed. I've got to start fucking putting a shift in. Which, if that's the case, that's kind of a fucking piss take. That the prospect of being basically turfed out of football at the age of 31, 32, or having to go down the leagues and play at bloody Accrington Stanley. Who are they exactly? That's what it took for him to fucking pull his leg out and start putting in performances. But yeah, I mean, wow, give him a year's contract and with an option for another year. We're finally seeing the Joe Bryan that we thought we were gonna get. The guy's been a fucking star, an absolute star. Where has he been? Where have you been, Mr. Bryan? But yeah, 91 touches the ball as well. That is insane. Let's have a look at that. 91 touches the ball, 30 more than the next, and nearly double the most of the team. Bloody hell. I guess, well, maybe if you get him to do stuff, it makes him look better. So maybe they weren't using him, and just he was an afterthought. But now they're trying to get him to do more stuff. Maybe it's that, I don't know, but man. So if we look, so Tanganga's number 2, 7.29, Ivanovic 7.23, fourth is Billy Mitchell 7.16, then Jake Cooper 7.16, Kramer 7.01, even though he was subbed off. So let's go down and look. So yeah, this is how it should be. Your substitutes should be at the bottom of the ratings list. Why? Because they have less time on the pitch. That's how it should be. And you look, so of the starting 11, the lowest is 6.71. That's for his Bangor Williams, but even there, 6.71 as your lowest rated player. Man, that's pretty fucking good. So how the hell have we not been? Let's have a look at the other mob then. Where are they? But apparently they were the better team. How? Like what? How are they the better team? Man, is this guy alright? I think he's going to get sacked soon, no? So, what are we doing? We're doing this. Did we get offside a lot? Yeah, a couple of times, Ivanovic too. Defensively. So, who did all the defensive stuff? Bangor Williams 5, Mitchell 3, Joe Bryan 2 tackles, interceptions. Denor and Tanganga with 2 each. Clearances, so this is where Tanganga, does his stuff. 6 for him, 4 for Ivanovic, 3 for Joe Bryan, 3 for Kramer, 3 for Cooper. Wow, Ivanovic with 4 clearances. Block shots, only 1, because obviously they had 5 shots all game. So you can't block what he ain't got. Passing wise, the most passes, Denor, Mitchell, Joe Bryan. And when you go to the accuracy, so 85% from Bangor Williams, but that was only off for 20 passes. So again, you would have to probably give it to Billy Mitchell. 82.2 from 45 passes. Good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, stats-wise, looking at the stats, it looks like a really good performance from Millwall. But then when you're actually watching it, and it seemed a bit drab. But, man, these numbers look good. They do look good. So, let's move on to this and finish with this. This is from fbref.com. We get the XG in the middle of the page. The XG was 1.2 for Millwall and 0.7 for Stoke. So it could have been 1-1 or it could have been 1-0. It was 1-0. So there you go. A crowd of 16,799. Hefty old crowd there. Obviously boosted, I would imagine, by the children in the crowd. There's the match events. So, again, possession 57-43. Passing accuracy, wow. Woo. Again, the better team. We had 413 passes. They had 306. Shots on target, 2 of 10 for us. 1 of 5 for them. So, 20%. So, it's the same ratio. Interesting. So, our guy made 1 save. Jensen. And theirs made 2. But then how did we score? Unless they don't include penalty kicks in that, so it doesn't skew the results. I guess that's what they're doing. Also, they had 5 yellow cards to our 2. Fouls 8-13, corners 7-5, crosses 37-16, touches of the ball 521-434. Tackles 14-14, interceptions 9-13, aerials 126-21, clearance of the ball 25-37, offsides 2-0, goal kicks 3-13. So, just how badly our attack was, and this is probably why it seemed to be an insipid match, because when we attacked 13 times, we gave them goal kicks. So we didn't, we had a shot that was off target, or Amaku dribbled down the wing and he ended up giving away a goal kick. So, when we attack, you get excited, oh, here we go, and then, it went out for a goal kick. So that's probably part of it. And that happened 13 times. Throw-ins 33-21, long balls 84-65. So even though we had more long balls than them, but our passing accuracy was better and we had more possession. Weird. That is weird. So here we go. What are we looking at? What shall we look at? What shall we look at? We'll just spin through some stuff. So the passing, yep. Pass types, defensive actions, possession. So possession. So dribbles, dribble. Take-ons. What it says there. Number of attempts to take on defenders while dribbling. Ivanovic tried it 3 times, was only successful once. And Maku tried it 4 times, only successful 2 times. Joe Bryan 2 and 1. So there you go. Billy Mitchell 1 and 1. Carries, distance, and progressive distance. I show this all the time. Emaku 21 carries of the ball for 143 yards, 64 yards towards the opponent's goal line. Bosh. But I mean, kind of outshone in some way by Denor. No, not really. Maybe, no, not really. Kind of similar. Denor, 29 carries of the ball for 135 yards, 54 yards of that towards the opponent's goal line. And then you get Bangor Williams obviously having to do more defensive stuff. because Stoke were going down our left-hand side, but still 14 carries of the ball for 53 yards, 20 yards of that towards the opponent's goal line, so more than half. So not bad. Cool, okay. If we go to miscellaneous stats, so you're talking about the aerial duels won, but what about the ones that were lost? So yeah, Josh Coburn won 5, lost 4. Ivanovic won 2, lost 3. Amaku 1 and 1. What else have we got? Joe Bryan 3 and 0. Jake Cooper 8 and 3. Tanganga 2 and 3. And Kramer 4 and 4. So there you go. So Lucas Jensen, let's have a look at him. Shots on target against 1, saves 1, 100% saved. That post-shot XG of that shot was 0.3. He's passing. 19 attempts, 4 throws, 42.1% of his passes were long. So the average length of each pass is 35.2 yards. He had 3 goal kicks, they were all long, 64 yards average. The crosses from the opponents into the penalty area was 13. He stopped one of them, so stop percentage of 7.7. His average distance from his goal line was 19 yards. So there you go. Now we go down and look at the shots. So this is not a lot of shots for a 90-minute game of football, or 95-minute game of football. Well, technically, obviously, there was injury time in the first half as well. So probably a 100-minute game of football. You can see that it's not a lot, and it's not a lot of quality, because if we go down the shots, blocked, off target, blocked, off target, blocked, off target, saved. The first shot that was actually on target and that had to be saved was from Joe Bryan. That was the right-footed one that he took. He's not right-footed, so it was a bit of powder puff. He obviously couldn't hit it with some force because he was trying to just make sure it was on target. And then again, we start off the second half and it's same old. Blocked, off target, woodwork, saved, blocked, off target, goal. So you can see why it seemed to be a bit of a shit game, really. If we look at the chances, Millwall had not very good chances, really. I mean, How Amadi, 0.15 XG, off target, 8 yards of a header. Where else have we got? So, Wouterberger, this was the one, was it not? They got saved by Jensen's big toe. 0.39 XG. Post-shot XG was 0.32. So it actually went down because he just hit it low. Like, Jensen was on the floor and then he just hit it low, and Jensen's leg was already out that way, and he ended up saving it. 12 yards right foot. And then we got this one here, Denor. That seemed to be a good chance because it went from 0.03 to 0.11. That got saved by the keeper. 24 yards left-footed, deflected volley. And then, right at the end, 0.79, which is the basic XG of a penalty kick, is 0.8-ish. And it goes up to 0.99 because he put it on the side where the goalie dived one way and he shot the other. So it was a certain goal. And a lovely penalty. Fantastic stuff. So there you go. What? And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.